And he, start cursing and fall down. I grab the ball and just take off running to my house as fast as possible. And I'd be like 15 feet from my house, and I just feel a rock just impact in the back of right in the center of my back. And he would just jump on me, grab the ball, and run back to his house. I mean,
that's awesome.
I don't think to this day we ever made a touchdown. Yeah. Technically a touchdown because we never got to each other's house. We were just trying to get
it's
this
basically
ball.
Just beating each other up, running away, and then taking this.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. What sucked, we had kind of like a really nice death match like valley there.
That's cool.
Because he lived up on this hill, which is you get a good nice vantage point, you see where everything is, but you had to go up the hill eventually to get the ball back. And it was like a steep hill. My house, on the other hand, was at the bottom. So running downhill was easier, but I had this really wide ditch that if it was raining, it was like waist deep in mud. But if it wasn't raining, it was filled with these really nice, jagged, sharp rocks. And so you had to figure out a way to get across it. And I guess you could say it was a rule, we just never built a bridge because we were supposed to build this bridge to go across it.
Yeah.
But every single time we start to play the game, we take down everything that we started building this bridge with, and we'd have to restart all over again afterward because the bridge would make it easier. It was a nice vantage point. And like looking back on it today, it's like I wish I had a relief map of that area because that would be a perfect death match.
That's cool.
You could just have this. You couldn't get a rocket jump across or something, but it was amazing, man.
Well, it's actually and this is a true historical fact. It's funny you should say that because that's actually exactly how rugby and what's evolved into rugby and soccer now started. And it used to be between two villages. And you had these two villages, this is back in England. You had two villages which were really far apart from each other. I know I'm making hand gestures in the radio, can't see that, but it helps me. And
he's holding his hands about 5 feet apart from each other,
and it was this big. But yeah, and then basically there was a ball which would start off from it would start off in the middle, and actually I don't know where it started off from, but basically the idea was to get the ball from one to your village.
I got you.
Or to the other person's village, but there were no rules, so people used to come in with weapons. They used to come in. People died from this. Like people actually had heads taken off from swords, things like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now that's vicious.
They should play that nowadays.
Yeah, I know.
Into that. That would be great. See, that's what I'm talking about. Make the sport interesting.
Like prisoners.
Put
much
pits,
like death race.
Yeah, put pits out there in NASCAR. That would have instantly spiced that up. Put a loop-de-loop in there. It'd be great.
Like a Scalextrics track. The one that crosses over, so you can't. Like
exactly. You go. Have a corkscrew. In there. That would be great. Those cars go like what? 300-400 miles an hour. They're like it's super mega fast. They break the sound barrier on a regular basis, and just but they go in a circle, so it's useless. They can never just get up to that speed. So what I'm saying is, you have a straightaway, make a corkscrew, loop-de-loop in there, do the whole thing. It'd be fantastic.
And have like wrong turns, so it's changed, so the driver doesn't know. If he takes the wrong turn, he goes into a jump, lands onto
Or even better, how about a right turn instead of left? They just constantly go left. Put a right turn in there.
Yeah, just to confuse them.
Yeah, just like, whoa, wham, slam right into the wall. I don't even think their cars can turn right. It's like the car just goes to a certain spot and stops. That's where the wheels straighten out. And it's just, they just need to, oh my God, they have this game coming out that's Ogre Football. Well, Ogre Football came out a while back, but I can't remember, it was Blood Bowl is the new one, I think.
Oh, Blood Bowl used to be a miniature game from Games Workshop, yeah.
Right, but it reminds me of this game that came out for the Sega Genesis that I believe was called Ogre Football. Or it could have been Mutant Football. Mutant League Football. That's what it was. That game was awesome. There's traps on the field that you fall into, that spikes in the bottom of it, and if your guy died, he died. He was gone completely. So it would get down to where my friends and I would play this football game. It's the only football game I ever played because, like I said, I hate organized sports. It always just annoyed me. And so it would be the only game we ever played because it would just be this death match for the first 45 minutes of the game. We're just killing each other.
That's cool.
Not even worrying about making touchdowns. And then it finally gets down to both quarterbacks. That's all that's left is you're both quarterback, one giant mutant guy, a big ogre guy, and the ball is covered in spikes and has a time bomb in it. So you have to get to the other guy's field goals as soon as possible. But now that there's landmines and there's pits and everything on the field, it no longer becomes a game of football and strategy. Now you just got to survive. And it was fantastic.
That's cool.
So that's actually why I'm looking forward to this Blood Bowl game coming out, because it looks about the same. I've never played the miniatures or anything
I haven't played that either. But
that's from Warhammer, I believe, right?
Games Workshop are the people that do like Warhammer and all that sort of stuff.
Okay, that makes more sense because it looked pretty cool, and I would not mind playing that. It looks really fun. But if they had more sports, actual sports, like
real life sports,
actual honest to God good sports,
secret smoke ring blowing.
There you go. I've actually seen a contest, funny enough, where they were trying to see who could get the longest puff of smoke across the field. That was probably the most mind-numbing. I don't even know why in the hell I think I was drunk, but I don't even know why the hell I watched it.
So you're sure it was on then?
I'm pretty sure it was on. And all my friends were like cheering, like, yeah, look at that guy. It's like 5 feet, 5 feet. And
That's
like,
awesome. I can just imagine like the athletes though with the modern day, it's like
and there were people hacking stuff
Yeah,
up. I mean, there's like one guy kept blowing and blowing until he threw up, and it was just like, good lord. And then you start watching those the Scottish games where they have like, you know, the throwing the log and all that.
oh,
stuff.
the taper tossing.
Yeah.
Taper tossing? The taper
Caper tossing.
caper tossing, that's it.
I love watching that because those logs come flying back and smack the guy in the head. That's a good sport.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm talking about. Go to Scotland or Ireland. They come up with some of the most messed up crap.
In Ireland, I think they have cheese rolling.
Yeah, and that's another one I was about to say. And you see people screaming and their hands are coming up, and then like whoever's left on the log last wins, and they think they get like a cheese wheel. And so
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
you just risked your life to get cheese. Cheese. It's like, I'll give you $5. Go get some cheese. It's just stuff like this. They need those in America. That's all I'm saying. Because the best thing that came out for us that was supposed to be awesome, I'm sorry, it's just complete crap, was, I don't know if you heard about this in Australia, we had this thing called the XFL. You know what the NFL is, the National Football League. We had the XFL. It was going to be the Extreme Football League.
Yeah.
And it had some hype behind it. People were like, this is going to be the best thing that has ever happened to organized sports ever. Because the commercials they had were guys running down the field, and there's like explosions going on behind him, and there's like tires, he's running through these tires, and he had to step through all of them. There's like barbed wire crisscross the field. And I was like, if it's like that, my God, I'm never leaving the house. I will go to every game, I swear. And then they showed it, it's just like normal football. They changed nothing. The only thing they changed was they didn't pay the players unless they started making touchdowns or were good at their job, and they let them name themselves. And there was a guy that his name was He Hate Me.
He hate me.
He Hate Me. It was written on the back of his jersey. And the football was no longer the brown, traditional brown.
Yeah.
It was black. That was the difference.
That's the extreme.
That was the difference.
I just love the fact that people like the notion that people choose their own names, and the fact that because you don't get paid, it means that eventually people get tired of it and more people will come in. So you're going to have all these people which have already had names taken, like on the internet. You know how you screen names taken. It's kind of like, oh, so I'm going to have to put jellyfish 32 or something like that. So you got these people with their names on the back going, oh, here comes Jellyfish 32. It's like, look, I don't know. They just gave me the number.
It gave a suggestion. I just said yes.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I left with that. You know? But watching this sport was just the worst thing. Oh, and the upside to XFL was the fact that their cheerleaders were strippers. That's pretty much it. They had stripper poles and they had, you know, dancers and all kinds of stuff over there. And that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
You know, but other than that, it just
in time to be on the radio.
Hey,
Yes,
Steve!
There we go.
Steve Twist has walked in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. Have a seat, Steve.
Hello.
Hello, hello. How are you doing, Mr. Steve?
I'm doing good.
We're talking about stripper poles.
This is something I would not know about.
Steve had a lucrative career before he came over here to England, or came over to the U.S. as being a male stripper. He was pretty good at it too. Made quite a bit in the cash flow department. Was offered a job with Chippendales, which he graciously turned down because he wanted to focus on his 3D career. And Steve also was working towards being the Adam and Eve Male Player of the Month, which, by the way, did not go through because he got beat out by Rod Stone. So Rod Stone, unfortunately, did pull that one away from me. Also, Steve refused to do any gay scenes, so that kind of hurt his career also. Well, that's what it was.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yes. Yes. Steve refused to do any straight scenes, and that completely ruined his career.
Something like that.
So how's it going, Steve?
It's not too bad. Just jamming away on work and came down to refreshing water. And
There is no water in there.
No!
Yes.
Drink the last one.
You drank the last one. You could go get all those unfinished ones that Angie has over there.
Yeah.
So what are you working on? Can you say?